Oh. Might be bigger than I thought. Just leaving camp from Minn Lake. It's a little after 6. Got another big day ahead of me, trying to get into Darky and see some pictographs, Wickstead, and try to get to the end of Brent today, I think is the plan. At least see how I'm feeling at that point. It'll be another 20+ mile a day. Gotta do it to get through this loop. Beautiful morning in the Quetico. Storms around, but I think it's all gonna clear out soon. Bugs are still real bad. Must have hit them right at the peak this year. Made it onto McCary Lake after my first short portage of the day. This is a beautiful lake, no burn at all. Kind of wishing I would have just came one lake further yesterday, as easy as that portage was, and looked for a spot on McCary. But about to test out the fishing here in a minute, see if I can confirm if that was a good decision. McCary Lake's really interesting because it's got Rebecca Falls flowing into it from Iron Lake, which is one of the border lakes on the normal Hunter's Island loop, and then it flows back out into Brewer Lake. But a lot of moving water, and Rebecca Falls is a really impressive sight to see. It's kind of like a V shape. There's a fall on either side, and I'm sure it's running pretty hard right now, and it kind of just goes into a canyon. I've stopped over there when I was over at Iron Lake just to check it out. But that would be my jump off point if I wanted to get onto the border lakes, get onto Iron, Crooked, Basswood River, etc. to go that route. But that'd be the easy way, and I want to stay in Quetico, so kind of a glutton for punishment, and I'm gonna instead do a bunch of portaging and see a bunch of new lakes. Hooked up first fish on McCary. See what we got here, and then an awesome little pinch point. I'm talking about pinch points a lot this trip, but for real, man, it's just like a guaranteed fish almost every time. Ooh, do I got a trout? Oh shit. Guys, I think I got a lake trout. Which would be shocking in this shallow of water. Yeah. Grand slam complete. Holy cow, was not expecting that. Lake trout, McCary Lake, officially got the Quetico Grand Slam. Boom, did it on the Boundary Waters last year. Now I got it on Quetico. What a beauty. I got a long way to go. I'd love to try to eat one of these. Caught it on a husky jerk, probably only about 5 feet down. It's crazy. Easy, buddy. He's gone. Yes. 1100-meter portage. This is a big one, biggest one of the trip. Let's go. That's a sight for sore eyes right there. Whew. What a brute. Ain't over yet. Straight up in the beginning, straight down at the end. All right, done with that big beast of a portage. Long, but not too bad. You know it's a long portage when you go straight up a hill, down a hill, straight up a hill, down a hill, straight up a hill, and down a hill. All in one portage. So, yeah, that won't burn a lot of fuel. Probably need to eat some food and drink a little bit more water, but I'm on Quetico Lake. It's supposed to be another good fishing lake. This is my third lake of the day, and the wind's really picked up, so it's gonna be a factor today. Hooked up on Wickstead. Coming around a really nice point. No idea what I got going. Oh! Snapped me off. I'm officially down to one crankbait. That was a pike, no doubt. All right, so I think that was, I've got one more leader, one more crankbait, a shadow wrap, and then all I got is topwater plugs. Lessons learned, bring more lures, duh. Doing some island hopping, trying to dodge some of this wind. It's pushing pretty hard, straight from the south. Cruising along Wickstead. This lake is really cool. Island studded, erratics everywhere. I would love to spend a night or two on this lake, but I gotta keep moving this trip. Up on Darky Lake, on the south end. All I had to do is skirt the north end to get to my next portage, but I've been wanting to see these picto panels for a long time, so I had to push through the wind to get up here and check them out. This panel looks absolutely gorgeous, and these hills around here are just beautiful. That was an incredible panel. One of the better ones I've seen. I've seen the ones on Loch LaCroix and the Basswood River ones, Rocky Lake, but that one was right there up with them. Told there's another one just right across the bay here, but I've got to keep moving, and I just really wanted to see that one specifically. Someday I'll be back to it, investigate them more. So awesome, worth the extra effort to get there. Entered the Darky River. Got a almost 1,000-meter portage coming at me next. So did 1,100 today, and I got 1,000 next. Two biggest portages all in one day. I believe they're the two biggest of the trip, hopefully. Anyway, do that big one more pullover, and I will be to Brent Lake, which is where I hope to camp.
More wolf scat. It's almost purely made of moose hair, and you can see some seeds in there and stuff. Maybe pieces of bone, I'm not sure. These wolves have been hunting big time back on this trail. Officially on Brent. Feel like I can breathe. Counted out those last 3 portages, and it's 4 o'clock right now, which is when I hope to be at camp. So I'm gonna push all the way down Brent, get as many miles in as I can, and call it a day. Today was a pretty tough day. Got up at 6, or left at 6, got here around 5, so 11 hours straight of paddling and portaging. But look at this campsite. What a view down the lake, Brent Lake. My goal was to get 20 plus miles in. The campsite I had set was at the end of Brent Lake, which is a long snaky lake, and by the time I got here and saw this site, I was like, I just gotta take it. I'm done. But yeah, 2 portages equaled over 2,000 meters, and those 2 just kicked my butt. I mean, they weren't horrible by any means. I've done longer ones, but just 2 almost back to back really wore me out. So anyway, I'm glad to be here, and this view is worth it. I mean, this is crazy, and there's nobody out here. Anyway, I'm gonna eat some dinner and chill out for a little bit and just enjoy this view. Getting packed up. Bugs found me last night, but gave me enough time to get in the tent. They're a little bit on me today, but nothing like the last couple of days. I don't even really need this net, just kind of wearing it at a trauma and shock from the last few days. So anyway, there's a ton of moose sign on this island I'm staying on. It's a pretty big island, but really clear. And I heard something on the island early morning. So I hopped out with my camera to just see if I could find, I was thinking for sure it was a moose, because there's moose poop everywhere and tracks, and they must winter out here and have their babies out here. But I walked around the whole island and I didn't see anything, and it's not big enough that I think it could hide. I would have spooked it at least. So anyway, no moose, but it was a really good night, and packing up and get ready to get out of here. All right, finally getting out of camp. Moving a little late today. It's almost 7 o'clock. Back behind me is my cliff site. You can see that. Awesome site. But ready to go. Moving down Brent Lake. I have 1 crankbait left, and I considered saving it till when I needed to get some dinner, but I can't pass up all this water without fishing it. So if I break off, I break off. I've got plenty of other food. So I've had plenty of fish dinners this week. I'll be all right. This guy's seen some battles. That is one beat up shad rap. I've actually caught a pretty nice sized muskie on this, and I've managed to keep it. But I'm pretty sure this trip we're gonna have to kiss him goodbye. Look at that tail, just barely hanging on. Still catches fish, teeth marks all over him. Hate to lose him, but it's for a good cause. I
can't find this portage anywhere. It's got to be right here, but it's right in the middle of a burn, and I don't know if it just hasn't been cleaned up yet or what, but I can't even really find a trail. It's gonna be short distance, so kind of thinking I'm just gonna go for it. Might be a regrettable decision, but I gotta get going. This is the actual trail I found after I bushwhacked, but as you can see, it's barely discernible, but definitely better than the way I came over the first time. Going back to get my canoe. Hopefully it's not too far off where I thought the portage is. Oh yeah, I think I'm okay. Made it out of that jungle, burnt jungle, on the McIntyre now. That was a little more time and work than it should have been, but that's all right. I'm cruising, I'm good. Hooked up on McIntyre, kind of out in the middle of the lake, which you never know what you're gonna pull when you do that. So a lot of times it's a cruiser pike, but could be a large walleye. Staying down pretty good, but didn't feel too big. Oh yeah, just, oh my gosh, another trout. Trout number 2 on a shad wrap, no less. Swam off strong. Trout number 2, McIntyre Lake. So I know Sarah has trout. It's a pretty I believe it's a fairly popular lake. I've heard people talk about it on the forums, but I don't know. Let's see if lightning can strike for a 3rd time this trip. Fish on and Sarah. Now this lake in McIntyre, we're getting much clearer than the previous lakes. So I should have known there was probably going to be trout in McIntyre. Like I mentioned, I knew there was some trout in Sarah, but I don't know. Still holding out for that giant walleye that could definitely live here. But I'll take trout all day. Gosh, I can see. Oh my gosh. It's another trout. I'm so tempted to eat one of these. Crazy. Just become a trout expert, I guess. I just can't help but catch them these days. And I like to catch them shallow, clearly. Little net problems. There we go. Hey. Beauty trout. He's good to go. I think I just caught jaws. I think I'm gonna need a bigger boat. Oh yeah, nice fish. A bigger net for sure. Just gonna try to wear him down as much as I can, make them a little more docile. Probably not hooked that well. Right on the side of the mouth. Come on, big guy. Come on, big. Oh, shoot. Barely hooked. Yeah. Woo. Look at that trout. Personal best by far. 26 inches, 26-inch Laker. That's a good one in my book, especially out of a canoe with no depth finder, just trolling around. Sometimes you gotta get lucky. I think I found my site for tonight, but this is a double check. I don't feel like going too much further. Ready to get set up early for me. Nice little peninsula. I don't even see the fire pit yet, but I can't imagine this isn't a camp spot. Looks like it's had some use for sure. Either way, there's a fire ban, so I can't really do much. Anyway, oh, here it is. Kind of back up on the top. Well, this goes for a ways. Yeah, this will work. Looks like some flat spots back there, so awesome. Sarah Lake, having a blast catching trout. I'm gonna get set up and get out and make hay while I can on these trout, because it's just a rare day for a dude from Kansas to catch lake trout. Fun day. Another great day. Success on the trout fishing. It's really just a first. I caught one last year, so I've tripled my success. Pretty excited about that, but just kind of makes me think of something my good buddy Luke always says: boys, it don't get much better than this. Except I'm by myself, so it's just boy singular. Don't get much better than this, but you get the point. Anyway, great day today. Covered 13 miles, basically 3 really large lakes, and I'm set up pretty good to get right across the border, or near the border tomorrow. So I'll be set up, to exit when it's time to go.